Welcome class. Here I am going to begin poem The Laburnum Top by Ted Hughes with you. His full name was Edward James Hughes. He was born on 17 August 1930. He was the great English poet, translator and children's books writer. Critics frequently ranked him as one of the best poets and the writers of 20th century. He was also appointed the Poet Laureate in the year 1984 and held the office till his death in the year 1998. In 2008, the Times has ranked this great poet fourth on their list of the 50 greatest British writers since the year 1945. Let's know about the theme of this poem. The poet has used the laburnum tree and goldfinch bird as a symbol of life and its fluctuations. The poet describes how the visit of the small bird over the top of the tree, it transforms the tree and brings life over there. One, the chicks of the goldfinch, they rustle and chirp to see their mother, which comes to feed them. So it brings the full liveliness over the still tree. But the moment the goldfinch leaves the tree, it again becomes quiet and still. Thus, the laburnum tree symbolizes the pattern of a life, which is usually dull and inanimate. But the presence of living beings, it breaks the usual pattern and make it lively. Before starting the poem, I want to throw light on laburnum tree. Laburnum tree is also called golden chain tree or amalthus tree. It is a deciduous species of tree with yellow flowers. But most parts of this tree and its fruits are poisonous ones. And the laburnum top here refers to the top of such tree. See the first stanza. The laburnum top is silent, quite still in the afternoon yellow September sunlight. A few leaves yellowing, all its seeds fallen. The poet here describes about one beautiful sunny autumn. The laburnum top is silent, quite still in the afternoon yellow September sunlight. A few leaves yellowing, all its seeds fallen. Here the poet is describing the beautiful sunny autumn day. He says in the afternoon time he found the top of the laburnum tree to be silent and still, though it is laden with yellow leaves and yellow flowers. But as the month of September is the beginning of the autumn season in the western countries, so he found the leaves of the tree have now turned to be yellow and even its seeds, they have fallen down on the ground. So the children, you will notice here the word yellow is used for leaves and sunlight. So this color here symbolizes silence, death and beauty. That is why the poet has described the whole scene of this tree with this color. Till the goldfinch comes with a twitching chirp, a suddenness, a startlement at a branch end. Twitching, this is the moment of the small birds. Startlement stands for amazement or surprise. Here the poet describes that the tree remains quiet and dead-like till the small goldfinch bird. Goldfinch, it is a small singing bird which has yellow feathers. So the poet explains that the tree remains still and quiet till the small bird, it makes the entry over its top with its twitching and chirping sound. And then, with its arrival, there comes the suddenness, quickness, amazement at one branch end of the laburnum tree. Then, sleek as a lizard and alert and abrupt, she enters the thickness and a machine starts up. Sleek means smooth, abrupt, that means quick. Here the poet tells as the small bird being rapid, alert, and cautious like the lizard. So when it makes the entry into the branches of the tree, it brings the life over the tree. And a machine starts up of chitterings and a tremor of wings and trillings. The whole tree trembles and trills. Chitterings means the sound produced by the bird. Tremor means shaking. Trillings, these are the sweet notes produced by the birds. Here the poet explains, when this mother goldfinch returns on the tree and enters into the thickness where her little ones are resting in the nest. So they become very excited on her arrival and started now chirping and creating the sounds of the chitterings and the trillings, and in this way they show their happiness and excitement on the return of their mother back to the tree. Hence, the tree is filled up with a series of short, quick, high-pitched chittering sounds, shaking movement of wings, and repeated sounds of mother with its offsprings. It seems that some machine has been put up on its work. The movement of the bird and the young ones now start shaking and bringing thrill and life to the tree. Thus, through these lines, we come to know that how the poet has given two opposite scenarios here in the poem. First, when the tree it was being dead and still, and then returning back to life and shelter to the bird and to her young ones. It is the engine of a family. She stocks it full, then floats out to a branch end, showing her barred face, identity mask. Stocks means to add fuel or energy. Floats, that means to move briskly. Barred face means the dark striped face of the goldfinch bird. Goldfinch, being the engine of a family, responds to the call of her offsprings, and then, after feeding her young ones, she moves out in a short time to the other branch end, where her face becomes her identity masks. As the color of the tree and the bird are quite similar, so her dark striped colored face become her identification marks when she comes out of the thickness of the yellow leaves of the tree. Then, with eerie, delicate whistle, chirrup, whisperings, she launches away towards the infinite, and the laburnum subsides to empty. Here in the concluding lines, the poet explains that this goldfinch bird, after making strange, short, high-pitched sounds, she again flies away towards the infinite sky. And the laburnum tree becomes again silent after the departure of the bird. And everything seems to be as similar as it was before the arrival of the goldfinch bird there on the top of the tree. Now let's explore about the literary devices used in this poem. Here I will start with alliteration. As I have already mentioned you in my previous videos, This is the device in which there is repetition of the consonant sound at the beginning of two or more consecutive words. The instance of alliteration in this poem is in the lines C, that is the very second line, September sunlight. Here sir sound is repeated. Then fifth line, suddenness, startlement. Here again sir sound is repeated. Then ninth line, here the words are she trembles. Here t sound is repeated. Next device, here is simile. So simile is the device in which we make the comparison of two things with the similar qualities. So the use of similes is in the line sleek as a lizard. So here is the comparison. Next device is metaphor. Metaphor is a device in which there is indirect comparison between two things. See the use of metaphor in the lines she enters the thickness and a machine starts up. Here the noise created by the movement of the bird is compared to the machine's noise. Then the use of metaphor is again in the line it is the engine of a family. Here the bird's nest is now compared with the engine. Next is personification. This is a device with which we use to attribute the human characteristic to something inanimate or non-human. So it is used in the line the whole tree trembles and trills. So the goldfinch, it brings happiness and mirth to the simple and inanimate surrounding of this laburnum tree. Next is onomatopoeia. This is a device in which a word is formed from a sound similar to it. See the example in this poem. It is used in the words like twitching, chirping, chittering, trilling, whistling, etc. Last one is transferred epithet. This is a device in which we may refer to some character or event, but it used to describe the different meaning or situations. Here, the example of transferred epithet is in the line her barred face identity mask. So it means that when the bird comes and sits behind the flowers of the laburnum tree, then the shadow of the flowers on her face appears that she is wearing a mask. I hope you have understood the message of the poem. It says that life seems to be dull and inanimate, but it is our attitude that makes it meaningful and worth living. Thank you all for watching the video. Do like and subscribe.